So, I'm going to talk about mistakes and the culture that we have developed around making a mistake. Namely, what was the negative about making a mistake? Well, most cases somebody gets hurt, whether it be emotional, physical, from anything from the smallest little minute thing to the worst kind of consequences you can think of. The positive of making a mistake, though, is the lesson learned. It's something people often say that a mistake is only a waste if nothing is ever learned from the mistake. But that's not really the way we do things anymore. And a good chunk of this is because of PC culture, the culture police, and being politically correct all the time. It's really made it difficult to actually admit that you've made a mistake. What happens when you make a mistake and you come clean and you talk about it? Well, you're immediately kicked out of the game, so to speak. You've lost everything you worked for, and you're no longer able to exist in this paradigm that we've constructed. But what happens when you make a mistake and you dig in on it and you say, no, you were wrong, I was right, you're the one that made a mistake? Well, you're villainized in the same way that you were if you had owned up to the mistake and apologized, but you get to keep playing the game. You get to keep staying. And by that point, you can change the narrative. You can maybe even make yourself look better. You can earn redemption. So if you make a mistake in our culture, isn't it better just to double down on your mistake? And that's what we need to change. Because while that works for the individual, it doesn't work for the whole. We don't ever learn a lesson. And part of the reason why this has completely been stripped from our society is because we don't allow people redemption. We don't allow them to fully admit mistake, bear guilt, and then move on. We are so against letting people move on. I'm sure you can think of 100 different cases where somebody has made a mistake, admitted guilt, and then we basically kick them out of the group. They're gone. People who might be, good, bad, however you feel. People like Louis C.K., people like Aziz Ansari, just gone, completely written out. And sure, we have set up the fact that, oh, they just have to pay their penance and they can come back, but they never do. And the issue is right now, there is a lot of people making major mistakes, catastrophic mistakes, but they're never going to admit it unless we allow people to start to have a road to redemption. To say no, admitting you're wrong is will give you a better outcome than doubling down when you are wrong. This has been maybe the worst aspect of PC culture. But if we don't change that, we are going to keep going down a horrible path. And a lot of people are going to get hurt. A lot of people.